Getting the safety gloves on. Let me go ahead and take a look here. My lady was in my kitchen messing with my stuff, so let me take a look real quick. Oh, there it is. How's it going, guys? We're here to go. For you? Okay. What's up? Thank you for tapping in. My bad, people. But yeah, okay, this, I had people come in. It was super slow earlier, but now we got people coming in, so. So, let me show you the. Okay, this is the dough. Look at that. That's how you make it rise. It comes out a little bit wet. Make sure you get your flour on there. Get a nice little handful. I got 2 burgers to make. I got 2. Let me see. Turn that back around. Let me see if I can get that. So I got 2 burgers to make. 2 anti-burgers. So get the fry bread nice and How you guys do, man? See you guys commenting on there. That's good. So here's for the second patty. So you get it, scrunch it up, get into like a nice old ball, get it all. Make sure the dough is no longer wet. So that's where you lay the flour down. I use a roller. I know a lot of people think funny about that, but when you got a lot of people coming in, you don't have the time to kick back and do whatever. So good. Okay, let's see. Roll them out. That's exactly what I was doing. Kind of get the dough off it. Shake it off. Put it in. See how it comes back up? Hey man, I appreciate that. Jose Velasquez just hooked it up with $10. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you, Father Kai. Appreciate you, brother. That's what's up. I appreciate you, brother. So get the, see, get it nice and. Let me see. Let me take this out. Give it some room. So I'm making 2 anti-burgers. So you get a nice firm cook on one side. Get it nice. Look at that. And we actually have a really young Instagram follower coming in to eat, which I think is pretty cool because the little girl, she does a lot of great stuff. The oil temp, okay, the oil temp I keep at about maybe 275 to 280. So if you're gonna be going off of like a cast iron skillet and do just a little bit of oil, that's like 7 or 8. But you don't want it to like over. Like some people go crazy, turn their temp up all high and burn their fry bread. Look at the goldenness of that. Look at that. And these are fry bread buns, bro. Look at that. That's beautiful. That's fresh oil. Look at that. Beautiful, ain't it? See, let those cool off. You let them drip back, the oil drip back into there. See? And then when you're cooking, you always want to keep that. What's up, Frank? What's cracking? When you're cooking, you always want to have your safety gloves. No matter what. Doesn't matter how much you. So with the anti-burger comes 2 patties. So here's 1 patty. I know the griddle is kind of dirty, but see, man, squish down. And get this one. Squish down. Then what I do, I'll spice them. You just need to put a little bit of salt on there to get rid of that bland beef flavor. Over, cook it, and you repeat. You got the look at this bacon. This is just thick. I always buy the best type of like food, the best type of bacon. I know there's some real cheap ones out there. Throw those on. I gotta change my gloves. So change the gloves. So you got this going. Call them smash burgers for a reason. So you just let those clean off a little area. You don't want them to like boil in the oil. Put this on. You got the bacon going. Okay. Man, if you could put down five anti-burgers, I want to see that, man. I got an Uncle Burger. I've seen a couple people do it. So, and then you grab your plates like so. Grab these. Oh, no, I'm not talking to myself. I got a YouTube channel too for the Lucky Local. So you're probably like, who's he talking to? And I got all the people on here.
Hi.
This is the mother of the, what's your daughter's name again?
Faith, I use.
Faith. She's on YouTube. She interviewed Stan Jotty. She does a lot of stuff. She goes to the Northwest Native community comedy clubs and does awesome interviews. I'll put the link on her channel on here too. But yeah, they're from Tulalip. How many hours is that from?
Like 3.5.
3.5 hours to come. They said, God bless her, Mr. Goyo.
God bless you guys too. Thank you.
Yeah. So don't think I was just going crazy back there talking. I'm like, yeah, this because before you guys came in, I went live and I was like, yeah, I'm going to show you guys how to make fry bread.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So while our order's cooking, we're going to go check out the neighboring stores.
Okay. Rose's Native Designs, super awesome. She has huckleberry jam. So if you get, so we're kind of hand in hand. And people will be like, here, you got huckleberry jam. It's super expensive to make. So I was like, you know what? They got it next door. So they'll go buy it next door and then put it on the fry bread.
Okay.
And then just to give you a glimpse of what the... Okay, and then here's... Oh, they dipped already. But yeah, her daughter's really... Their kid is really, she's on Instagram. So she's got a lot of followers. This is actually pretty cool. This may help the business because there's... Okay, I could smell the bacon being cooked. So for anybody that cooks, that knows their stuff. Oh, here comes somebody for the... You have to wait. Okay, now I'll put it on the cooler side. So, and then gotta put this right here. Woohoo! Sucks being by myself. Hey B. This is a restaurant. Can you put me on your do not call list? Thank you so much. Keep getting these spam calls, bro. Different names. I hate it. Because look, I could have been over here flexing, showing you guys what's up. But they had me run over here and do all this stuff. So let's get you guys set up. Yeah, I got ugly psoriasis. Grabbed a handful of cheese. You caramelize it. So you put it down. So you let that cook right there. Then you put them as a blanket. Look at that. I wish you guys could smell the food. I know you can see it. Like I said, don't mind the mess. It doesn't look like this at the end of the night. So I'll let the bacon cook on there. So you let it. Anybody else that knows, yeah, I can smell it cooking, or when it's about to be overcooked. See look at that. Let's go under real quick. They hit it like that. Look at that, man. Thank you, Abuelita. Look at that. Then you hit the other bacon. The other patty. Look how much it's like still. Look at all that greatness in there. Look, pictures are cool, but look how it's still bubbling. The flavor. Put the bacon. And I could, like I said, I could smell the bacon on this area. Smell it cooked. See, it's nice and crisp. You know, when you bite into it, you don't want it to be all gamey, like all sticky. But I will. Cheers. Some coffee. So you got your nice fresh crisp lettuce. I went and picked this out today. You got your tomatoes. They don't want tomatoes on theirs. You get your thing of mayo, put it on. They don't want tomatoes. So any crisp, nice crisp burger. But and one guy wants jalapenos on his, so there's no some jalapenos for you guys. So this one's no tomatoes, no onions. I do have pickles. I don't want to get pumped out on YouTube. If I couldn't open it, that would have sucked. Okay, so put some pickles. Also, this is the making of it. So you put this on top. Look at that, fry bread buns. Look at that. Where else are you gonna see stuff like that, man? But A&B Native American cuisine. One of a kind type place, man. You know, like I said, out of all the restaurants in the world, not world, just even the United States, you got 650,000 plus, and I'm one of the few Native American restaurants. And so the next video I'm going to make is breaking barriers. Breaking barriers of getting in that comfort zone where you think you got to stay on the reservation, that this is the only option, and breaking the stereotypes of thinking that all Native Americans get checks, because we don't. And when we do get checks, they ain't shit unless you're Seminole, or out in Minnesota. So here's their dishes. And I appreciate that, Frank. I really do believe that I am on the top, heading to the top, man. And it's, you know, this is buying one food truck. So I'll have my food truck that I have, that's only for the res. And I'm going to be selling that probably for about 10,000, and somebody else can come up. You know what I mean? Because I put like 20,000 in repairs into it. And you know, some people will be like, "Oh, that ain't shit. That ain't that much money." But bullshit, man. When you're out here hustling, you're out here grinding, it's hard. It's really, really hard. So when you get that, but let me see if I could do, because I said on how to make fry bread. So let's go ahead and try to do that again. Where could I set up a better angle? Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. Out of safety gloves. Pow. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Okay, so I showed you guys the pot, the fry bread dough pre-mixed. So let's go ahead and, like I said, safety gloves, hygiene. You know, sometimes I forget deodorant, but that's, my food's not going to be touching my armpits. But, you know, see how doughy, see how sticky that is? So you grab some more dough, or grab some more flour, dry flour, put it up. Then I'm going to be selling pre-mix. So all you got to do is add warm water. I'll make a video on how to do it. And then you too can have A&B fry bread from the safety of your home. It's going to take probably quite a few different fry bread mixes to get to my level. So you pop in. Oh, I got French fries in there. Okay. YouTube bread. Gotta make that money. So get the French fry out of there. Then there's one stuck down at the bottom here. I can see. Kind of flopped over. I like that. If I were, when it flops over like that and it stays like that, I don't sell it. But I'm gonna eat it. So, see how it kind of. You see how, okay, when you're buying fry bread from me, I'll do the video, but you want it to be like, last thing you want is for it to be too high, and I'll do the temp too. I'll do the video of the temp, of what you want your oil at. You won't have to use a big old conventional deep fryer. So you put it down, you can hear that? There you go. See how beautiful and golden that is? The only reason why I push it down more is because of the, you can see the French fry cooking in there still. So what I do is I'll put this right here and let the oil drip out of it and goes back into the deep fryer. So with that, let me see. So the fried bread comes out. Actually, that's not too bad of a fried bread, even though it flipped over. But it's been a slow day. These are like the first people that came. But to be honest, I wasn't ready because I changed out the oil. I cleaned up the kitchen. I was getting everything ready and getting it going, man. Had to go pick up some more to-go plates. Had to get more. See the to-go plates? There you go. Let me see. You guys need napkins?
Some right there.
Oh, okay.
Do you have fry sauce?
I can make some.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'll take the payment later. But yeah, fry sauce is like a Washington State. It's a mayonnaise, a mayonnaise ketchup mix. I didn't know what that was until I moved here. So that tripped me out because I had no clue what it was. I was at work and they're like, "Hey, go make some fry sauce." I was like, "I don't know." And it was delicious. I mean, it is delicious. And I was just like, it's like, all right, yeah, I had no clue that it was fry sauce. I mean, what fry sauce was. It's mayonnaise and ketchup mix. All right, we got Rich DM in the house. What's going on, Rich DM? Farmetto's in here too. OC. We got OC. We got all kinds of people from California and stuff watching.
How many YouTube subscribers do you got?
I only got like I got 233 or something like that. Yeah.
And that's what you go live on, or?
Yeah, I go live on Facebook, Instagram. But the YouTube, I interviewed a friend of mine, Iron Bear, and we talked about Columbus Day. And then I uploaded. We're doing the missing and murdered Indigenous women with this guy Raymond, and he's out in California, and he's with the missing and murdered Indigenous women too. And I was explaining what fry sauce was, because I've never had fry sauce until I moved to Washington State.
What we're gonna do is we're just gonna invite on IG. You're AV Native American, right? That's you on IG?
Yeah, yeah.
So we're gonna tag you on IG, and then you just have to go in. You're gonna get a request of like invited to be a collaborator on the post.
Okay.
And then just go from there.
Nice.
Cool.
So how do you guys I like the looks of the anti-burger.
Oh, it's delicious.
But yeah, we plan on going to Tulalip and all over Washington State before we go to California. So,
Post this.
your daughter didn't want to come in?
She's there. She's doing a kind of a live thing.
Oh, okay, cool.
She's got a lot of she's been kind of she's been really busy with a lot of like promos for like a lot of these big brands. So like when she has to go into like Zoom meetings, she has to like focus and stuff.
Oh, okay, cool, cool.
So
But Puffy, what's going on? So since I'm on the live, I'm gonna see what your reaction to the Frybread burger. So do you notice the difference from the patties not frozen?
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, Puffy, I'm going to be going to California. I'm going to be going to Nevada because this whole food truck thing is just breaking barriers of the food and beverage industry. So there's 650,000 plus restaurants in the United States, and 13 of them are Native American, and we're one of them. They have one in Seattle called Off the Res. They've been in business a lot longer than me, and I actually was inboxing them when I was starting out. Yeah, man. So they're having a meeting tomorrow of the how much the food truck's gonna be. So they said it's 74,000. They said I gotta spend more on a new truck. So I gotta spend like 28,000 on a new truck, and then the rest of it's gonna go on the restaurant here in Brawley, California. Nice. I'm gonna be hitting all over California. That's one of our main things. I just want to travel to where people don't get a chance to try fried bread. So, fried bread, Indian tacos, the stuffed fried bread burgers I have, the desserts I have, the just a lot of, like I said, breaking barriers is the main thing. This restaurant's kind of stagnant, but as soon as I get the loan, I'm definitely going to be getting commercials, radio play, advertisements, and everything that I get done is going to be through Rich DM. Any kind of tents, any flyers, any promotions, all going to be through Rich DM. I'm not going through anybody else. Rich DM's had my back since the get, going to help save the restaurant. So, Imperial Valley is the best. Is it nice?
It's so good.
Yeah, I was friends with your daughter on Facebook, but I post kind of like I swear a lot in my posts, so I kind of just unfriended. I was like, man, I feel bad because I know I see her doing all these interviews, and so I was just like, all right, well, I'm just gonna. I unfriended. I was like, man, I was like, I hope she's on my business post because I don't swear on there.
She's used to it. We got a lot of. That's the thing is like people see her and she's 13. She started when she was 11.
Yeah, I seen that.
She started when she was 11, and we didn't really plan for like interviews, because she just wanted to do like really just wanted to showcase like being on the res and show other res kids what it's like on her reservation and inspire those kids from other reservations to start posting on their reservation.
Yeah.
what it turned out to be was there really wasn't a lot of kids engaging with her content. It was 18 to 35 that was like watching her blogs and really getting into a lot of her giveaways. At first she was doing a giveaway like every like 4 or 5 months, where she was like saving and like doing odd jobs and craft work to like build up this revenue to buy, you know, AirPods and different stuff to say, yo, look, I want to get back for you guys liking my videos, watching my videos. And then the interviews kind of snowballed with Doug Baldwin. Was her first ever, like her very first ever interview. And then it was set up to, hey, we got this person who wants to interview. And then she was like, we were noticing that the people that she was interviewing was getting kind of stagnant. So then she took it upon herself to say, I want to do my interviews, my questions, what I want to do. And that led into her going and getting involved with Daybreak Star Radio Network, where she's the youngest radio personality in the country.
Dang, she was on the radio too?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
We were trying to get syndicated over here. I don't know who runs the radio stuff over here. We're gonna
Town Square Media.
Yeah, and then she got syndicated in Canada, and then that kind of just expanded to the radio thing, where her shows, she was getting probably around. We're no longer with Daybreak, but she was getting around like 5,000 listeners on the radio, for internet radio, for her interviews. And then it just kind of every interview from, you know, Anton X to Gunnar Jewel to Spin Johnny, Microphone. It's like everybody that watches her, they're wondering who's next, right? Who's she gonna interview?
Yeah.
Who's gonna be?
Can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you open your IG real quick?
Yeah. Let me see. I think
Oh,
I'm.
are you still live?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I can go live. Let me see. Let me check it out. Got AP.
So she came here. And our first thing over here was with the Rise Above Foundation. And we talked to the council. Faith had to speak to the council here. And just stated who she was, what she does. Because it was crazy, because Rise Above Foundation was there. But when Faith got up and she said, my name is Faith Ayers. My great grandfather was Russell Jim, the late Russell Jim. And it's just like everybody in the council, because of how respected he was over here, just kind of stopped and like looked at her and was like, because I mean, you know, they go through so much agenda stuff, right? So they're in there, and then they stop and they look and they're like, and they paid attention to what she was saying. And it's just what she wants to do. She just wants to help the youth.
That's what's up.
She wants to showcase that the youth can do more than just be an athlete, because in Indian country, that's all we're focused on: sports. It's basketball, football, volleyball, baseball, whatever it is to get you off the reservation. But there's not a lot of kids who want to play sports, so then they focus on gaming, or they focus on cooking, or they focus on what she does. And that's what she wants to do. She wants to bring up 20% out of every kid and say, hey, look, if you got a dream, I want to help you achieve that dream. I want to make your dream a reality. I can't do it for you, but I can give you the steps to show you how to do it.
Yeah.
And that's where the whole kids thing kind of got crazy, because it was adults. Adults were like, if this kid can do it, how come I can't do it with my day-to-day job, my money that I get? So now more adults are like, you know, reaching out to her, like, how did you get started? What did you do? I don't have a lot of money for cameras and you know, production. And she's like, I started with an iPhone 8 and an ice tray, like a rubber ice tray for a tripod, and that's just what she edited on her phone. And now she's, you know, she's still editing her own videos.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But it's like, you know, the comedy shows, and very fortunate for NSO Entertainment to give her a chance to see her dream and say, hey, look, come aboard as our news correspondent, do everything, report on what we're doing, and that's why now she's the youngest media director in the.
That's what's up. Yeah, because I even reached out to him. I was like, hey, you guys need any catering? Because as you can tell, like this restaurant, I think this location, because it's not the food. You know what I mean? If I thought it was the food, I would have given up like long. I wouldn't even have started my business. You know what I mean? And it's I believe it's marketing too. Like every time I go grocery shopping, and people see me with like 50 bags of French fries in there, and like all the all the stuff, the makings of a Indian taco, and they're like, oh, what are you doing, throwing a party? That's, and I'm like, no, I own a restaurant. And they look at me, oh, own a restaurant. I'm like, yeah, I own a restaurant, first Native American restaurant in the area. I was like, they had one built by the tribe, but this isn't built by the tribe. This is built from the ground on up. Our hard work from starting as a food truck to now this, and then now expanding to a newer food truck and go to places like where you guys are at. Because we do have people come from Colville, Oregon. When we first opened, people were driving 4 or 5 hours to come here. We had somebody drive from Texas to come here. You know what I mean? And
we do a lot of we do a lot of shows, a lot of different hip hop events, and I'm gonna bring anytime I got these rappers with me, I'm gonna be like, we are going there to eat. You have to go there to eat.
Yeah.
Like we're working with a Hawaiian restaurant in Linwood, and it's called Bobby's Hawaiian Cuisine, and it's an amazing stuff. I mean, it's just they're giving Faith a meal, or Faith doesn't want to break the bank. It's literally everything you could ask for from this restaurant under $20. So she doesn't, and then all the proceeds will go towards the Lupus Foundation. My sister, her auntie, she suffers from lupus. We're going to give back to the lupus community. A lot of Native Americans suffer from lupus, and 85% of those Native Americans don't even know they have it.
That's crazy.
Until they go through a flare-up, and then they have to go. Excuse me. And by the time that they get that flare-up, it's just too late.
Oh wow.
So that's why we want to raise awareness. And but yeah, have you been to any of the NSO shows at all?
No, I've been. You know what, dude? I don't even get no time to spend with my kids. So when I'm working here, and I'll leave here, I'll get here like around maybe like 9, 10 in the morning. Don't open up till like 12, because it's just me prepping. I had a whole crew. I had everybody. Then it just hit to where it was like, okay, we're even shut down, and the people that are on the YouTube, they donated money. Yeah, because I called one of the one I was. If you ever heard me mention Rich DM, he's a graphic designer out of California, and he went and I called him because I just met him through chats, like the rest of the people. Yeah. Met him through chats. Never even met him, and I jump on a live. I watch like Convict's Perspective and all these different stuff, and to where we all like chat, like, hey, what's up, how's it going, they recognize each other whenever we get in the chat, like, and then and become cool. And then I was jumping on like a lot of lives, and I was like, you know what, I was like, everyone has a voice for California. Everybody has, like, how, like what your daughter's doing.
Yeah.
I was like, if mine doesn't take off, I'm fine with that, but I'm just bringing, if anybody looks me up or wants to hear my perspective of growing up on the res, you know what I mean, the problems, and to get rid of the stereotypes that were not, you know what I mean, a factor in any kind of, like what you're doing, your daughters and you guys are doing is awesome. You guys are breaking barriers too. You talking about youngest kid getting on the radio, that's awesome, dude, that's beautiful. And then, and then it helps, she's Native American. Like, it brings a voice. And because there is a lot of kids that go on YouTube want to become influencers, and they watch these videos, and I hope they do see your daughter, or I hope they see this channel, and it's like, hey, look, I cook, you know what I mean?
It's hard to get it's hard to get a lot of the kids involved because it's comfort. You know, like I grew up here, grew up in Wapato until I was about 12. Moved to Tulalip, and then you know, that was something that I told Faith about is it's so the social media community over here on this I told her it's different because it's 10 years delayed here than it would be in Seattle or in Tulalip, where a lot of the Instagrams or it's like gaming is a big thing over here. It's like
Yeah, I was just playing.
and I was just talking to her about finding that next gamer or finding that next that next kid to step up and say this is what I want to do and I want to help and it's a lot, it's different, and that's something that with what we do with the NSO stuff, a lot of adults like today she posted that picture where she's just hanging around. We get instant 13, 14 comments of 14 comments of, hey, hope you enjoy your stay. It's a good spot. Go here if you want to eat, or, and that's something that we have to, I told her, I was like, well, we're going to go check this place out. And she's like, up for it. She's like, I'm down to do whatever,
She's supposed to bring the boys back whenever we're at meeting before. I still do. I made
What's your YouTube?
It's Lucky Loco. That has like a little chef icon on it. Yeah. And it looks like I'm begging for money, but I have the Indian taco sign.
See a Frank's Vibes.
Yeah, that's one of my homeboys right there, Frank's Vibes.
Okay.
But then I have my page. Yes. He's really good too, so if you guys want to check him out, Frank's Positive Vibes. Another one's like Vegas Prison Stories. There's just like there's the Crusted Joint. We always watch him.
Yeah, so that's the thing is like Faith's done a lot of we like to do a lot of, this is the thing is like we try to explain to a lot of these businesses that marketing is the number one thing, and the bad thing about marketing is a lot of people don't understand how to market themselves. So what we do is we sit down with certain businesses or even rappers, right? Rappers is a business in its own. So
Yeah.
rappers know like, hey look, this isn't your mom and pops, this isn't your mom and pop stuff. We need you to invest in yourself. We need you to invest in your graphics. We need you to invest in your engineers, producers. Once you show me that you know what an EPK is, then we can start helping you because I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste mine. And 85% of the time you get a rapper that's like, what's an EPK? And I'm like, well, it's an electronic press kit. It's what you send to these venues when you want to get booked. Okay, how do I do that? Most of the time I do it just out of the kindness of my heart and just get it set up for them and then email it over and I'm like, yo, look, do as I say. Email. Talk to these venues, network as much as you can. Just like what you do, you're in the chats and you're talking to the people. Those people are going to support you, and it's I always tell people, this is what me and Faith say, because Faith did merch, and her first run of her merch was all handmade. She has a Cricut, so she did all handmade, really, really like 1,000 washes on those items, and I told her, I said, this is where you're going to learn, because you can buy a case of water and sell it for $3, but your friend is going to come and ask you for 50 cents. I said, that's when you got to stick to that $3, because yes, it's cool to hook your people up, but you gotta understand to support your brand, they have to fully invest in your
Yeah.
and that's why you do get those people from hundreds of miles away that'll look at you and send you $40, $50 on a donation or whatever. Or, sign up for a Patreon or whatever it is, for like what you're doing now for YouTube. You can set that up for a Patreon and your subscribers or people in your chat can pay $5 to get access to your Patreon, and then you're like, yo, look, we'll teach you guys how to make baking, a little behind the scenes of what I'm doing, and then that's just the right way to monetize, right?
Yeah.
So you're giving everything to them. And monetization is the hardest thing. And
Yeah.
I really ramble when it comes to this because, like, I know I've invested 2 years of my life into what my daughter does to where I want to do this for everybody. No cost, no money. I tell everybody that I meet, I don't want anything from you. I don't want no back end deals. I don't want you guys to feel like I'm using you. I just want you guys to take what I know how to do, apply it to your business and your life, and hopefully you gain some success or some kind of, some type of movement. Because with what you're doing by getting a food truck, it's the hardest thing is it's you ever see the movie Chef?
Yeah.
John Favreau?
Yeah.
That movie right there is just he just tweet, Instagram.
His son was.
Yeah. And it became it just
Do you
became a
have
success.
a to-go box?
Yeah, sure do.
I get another diet coke.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And another squirt, please.
No squirt? Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, how's the? I guess I can take a look at that too. So, like how you said, like the marketing. That's I do on sometimes on Instagram. I don't have too many followers on there, but then I go to Facebook. On the Facebook business page that I have on there, there's like 3,500 people. So what I do, I'll be like, hey, look, I'm open today. And I'll come up with new stuff. I have this fry bread bowl that I cut. It takes a long time. I prep all the hash brown, like cut up the potatoes, freeze them, like cook them halfway, freeze them. Next day, then I'll put them back into the deep fryer.
Yeah.
So I'll make the fry bread bowl, put the hash browns, the eggs, the bacon, sometimes biscuits and gravy over top of it. So when you're eating, you can take the fried bread off and dip it in there and eat it. So right now I'm trying to teach myself how to make hollandaise sauce, like actual hollandaise sauce. So I can put that on top of it too.
Yeah.
And just, with the poached eggs because like when you go fresh, some people are kind of turned away from like, oh, well, you're charging this much over here, so, but you go taste their processed burger, their frozen processed burger, their cheapest form of bacon that they can get, that's like a thinner strip. If you overcook it, it's just going to melt away. Compared to my food, to where, I try to tell people, and then I was like, oh, well, A&W has it. I was like, well, look at the size of the patties.
Yeah.
I can make 3 of those out of that. I mean, I guess I should to try to get people to come in to sell a burger but I'm bastardizing my meal because
it's like that's something that I was talking to a buddy of mine about that we had this big debate. Just you talked about bacon, we were talking about butcher cut bacon and like actual and I was telling him like I only make because I only use butcher cut bacon. It's a big slice piece of bacon.
Yeah.
I use it for my BLTs, and that's what we were arguing. Like it was a big heated argument over bacon, and it's funny that you talked about the bacon. How you said it's skinny and it'll just melt away. Because we got a huge argument about it, and I am telling him, I'm like, yo, look, you need to start investing into, because he was just started a restaurant. It's the hardest thing. Clothing and food. It's the hardest thing to be in, because you have not only, just like you said, you have those people that are like, well, I'm gonna go here because I've gone here my whole life and I don't like things different. But then you have like, there's so many like, it's like rappers. Like we just did that. We were part of that spooky season tour with Ansel, and they stop in and eat random places. They'll just Google number one place to eat in Seattle, and they'll go eat there. And I'm like, I can take you to a spot down the road that's a million times better. But you want to go on Yelp and you want to,
Yeah.
use. And that's something that like with like we have a food truck in Toledo. That's where we get like a lot of our bread from, and it's Ryan's Recipes. And that food truck, it just kills it anywhere it goes. It just kills it. I was gonna eat at the Off the Res. They set up at the Daybreak Power, but that line was just too long. I was like, I'm good. I'm gonna go over to this line because it's, kind of a little bit smaller. And do you travel to a lot of powwows at all, or?
No, this year, after this year, I plan on going, go to the powwows. That's why I'm reaching out to like other companies. Like, hey, look, I'm going to be traveling I'm not just going to be here in Toppenish, Yakima. I'm going to be all over. And if you want to help me pay for the wrap, I can put your big business logo on the side of it. And if they ask, oh, who's that? Well, they're a company that helped us. They're a company that helped us helped us along our way. And I've been doing this. I've been trying to get sales pitch, because I go until I found a place that wanted to invest into us. I went to so many places and was like, hey, look, I went to the Wheelers. I went to all these other people. I was like, hey, look, you buy me a food truck. I'll put your business half and half. I'll put like the Wheeler sign right here and the rest A and B. And I will always I will always tell people about your business and be like, hey, look, these people helped us. Just this whole story, break it down. And then they're like, nah. I'm like, okay. That's all. I mean, I wasn't going in there like I had my whole heart and, invest into it. If somebody tells me no, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to keep pushing the issue. Like, all right, that's cool. Maybe they're not financially, maybe they didn't like my pitch, maybe they don't like me. You know what I mean? That maybe a lot of people think the way I get it is I don't deserve where I'm at.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't care. That's the type of stuff that keeps me going. Like when I have people talking smack about me on the res or anywhere. Oh, look, there's this one guy who comes over here, goes out here and smokes. And the one thing I learned about sales was buyers is liars.
Yeah.
So, when I get paid, I'll come. The people see me out and about, and when I get paid, I'll stop by your restaurant. And I don't even argue with them. It's like, I'm thinking in my head, I'm not going to hold my breath. You know what I mean? And this guy, he doesn't like me. He sees how I dress, how I carry myself, but that's just who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not your. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna get like awesome food. You're gonna get treated well here, but then also don't want to sell a fake person of me. You know what I mean? So the hard exterior, whatever. There's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My story, my past. People, well, you did. You went to prison. Yeah, I did go to prison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I used to be a gang member. But look where I'm at now. But people will be more focused on my negative past than try to think, hey, look, this guy came out the dirt, he used to be an alcoholic, over years sobriety. But nobody takes note to that. They'll be like, oh, I remember him when he was drunk over here at that party. Or, it's like, they'll focus on that and pick and choose any little reason not to like you.
It's just, I'd say it's a faith all the time. She has to experience it with, kids her age. Because, you look at, she has over 30,000 followers across all platforms.
Nice.
So with that many numbers, she does have an influence. Whereas like if and I just tell her, I'm like, just crabs in a bucket, man. I said, they see that you are from the same environment they're from, so they're going to drag you down because you're a reminder of what they could be. And that's something that I believe anybody, not just like, I mean, it's horrible because it's mainly an indie country. That's what you experience. Rappers experience it, actors experience it, models experience it. Entrepreneur natives, they experience it, and that's something that not a lot of people understand. And I always tell people, it doesn't matter about, it don't matter what you say about me, you're talking about me. You are losing sleep over me.
Amen to that.
Like I say that to Faith all the time. I tell her, a lion does not lose sleep over the thoughts of sheep.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
No.
It does not. And because she would make there's a grown man gets a lot of hate on TikTok. His name is Alex Pinkham. I think called Frybreads. Kind of a social media influencer back in the day, back in Vine and all that. And he said some things to Faith. Said some things like, because he's always getting hate. There's never, they hate his car, they call him a per capita Indian, they just hate him. And she said something one day, was like, if you just ignore these people, it's not gonna change who you are tomorrow. And then, well, what we realized is, because I did my digging, I'm like, he enjoys the negativity, he enjoys the hate, he enjoys engaging with these people on TikTok and being, 55. I think he has like 40 or maybe 50,000 followers on TikTok. But the thing about that is there's some people who just love that. They just love it. Like they're celebrities out of nowhere.
6'9".
Yeah.
6'9". You know what I mean?
They're celebrities out of nowhere. And I told her, I said, they got into it, and she said, I've kept my mouth quiet for a long time. But I need to ask you one thing. Why do you engage in negativity? Is it because you are negative, you're a negative person? You have a degree in engineering. You have your own apartment. You live your best life, but you still complain about the people that don't like you. And his response was, it's okay, you live your life, little kid. You've just never been hated on the way that I have. And then blocked her. And she was like, he's not going to give me a chance to respond.
Dang.
I said, you don't need to. I said, that's a grown man who got his ego hurt by a 13-year-old kid who just asked a simple question. I said, now, with him getting hated on, it's not a bad thing because you want to help him, you want to build him up, that was what she was trying to do. So now, when you talk about like the guy that's up the road who doesn't like you and has things to say about you, or the people that say, hey man, next week we get in there and get some food, it's just, yeah, well, I'll be there.
Yeah. No, I'll always be. I mean, like, even if we do fail right here as a restaurant or whatever, and I move on to like a different area, I'm not looking at it as a failure, bro. I'm looking at that as breaking barriers.
Yeah.
They can, no matter 100 years from now, they can always look back. Well, who was the first Native American restaurant? I was. You know what I mean?
We were going over to Crafts earlier because we were looking for what were we looking for? Shorts. We were looking for shorts for my boys, and she was like, A&B's Native American cuisine, and it was probably like 9:30, I think. And I was like, you want to go there? And she's like, maybe later, because we had to go to a funeral.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my uncle passed, so we had to go bury him this morning.
Was that the? Oh man, that was so. I was his neighbor for like 4 years, bro. Next door over there in Epos. Yeah, that I know Willie. Willie's cool as hell, man. He used to always give me like weed candies and. And this is where a lot of this stuff comes from. Is like, hey, And I'll be like, hey, you know what good would be good on fried bread? Like the Messy Jesse Philly cheesesteak. That's one of our top sellers, and one of the most expensive Indian taco that we got on here.
Yeah.
And then we got the Sharon strawberry shortcake. We got the s'mores. We got the what is the other one? The caramel apple pie one. We got what was I got Pooh Bear bites. I got fried bread bites dipped with I mean covered with cinnamon sugar and it's cream cheese and strawberry puree mixed together, and you dip them
Oh
in.
yeah.
And a lot of this stuff, like even the Spaminator, it's like, well, we got to come up because, like you said, you got to stay. Well, you got like everybody goes around here does a pop up fried bread tent. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I wanted to do a fried, and then when they did make a fried bread burger, they would put two
Yeah.
patties and then a fold over the fried bread. I was like, man, that's a lot of bread.
Yeah.
And I was like, just make two fried bread buns, and then we were practicing, and we're like, all right, now we're gonna make burgers out of fried bread, and then that's when we came up with the Wellington, the stuffed fried bread burger, and we started doing that. And then meat pies off of reservation dogs, and I started making meat pies, and people were buying them. They're like, oh, I
Yeah.
want a meat pie too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah, it's a lot of that's just marketing. People that don't understand like the marketing aspect of it, and that's something that like I talk to Faith about is when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to like TikTok, when it comes to Instagram and Facebook, it's a lot to juggle. It's like there's somebody today reached out and was like, hey, just checking on you, young warrior. Haven't seen any kind of adventures lately on your, because there's people do pay attention. They're like, she's gone 2 weeks without posting, and she was just like, what do I say? And I'm like, just tell her to take a break. Tell her to take the time to regather, but we do have something coming up soon. You got the fashion show coming up. You got, Bear Grease coming up in December. You got
nice.
all these things. We're supposed to go to the Nammys, but that lands on the same day as that lands on the same day as the fashion show. So we had to miss out on that. But yeah, Sabel the Native, he's nominated for a Nammy this year. And I think he's the voice of the Pacific Northwest, man.
Nice.
Have you ever listened to Sabel the Native?
Uh-uh.
And if you get a chance, look him up, Apple Music, Spotify, whatever, YouTube. He's from Eugene, Oregon.
Nice.
Voice from Selects. That's the charge.
What's his name?
Sabel the Native.
Savell the Native. I'm gonna have to check that out because I've been listening to Buggins Malone.
Okay.
Yeah, Buggins Malone. I was listening to Sten Jolly before he came out with the greasy fried bread. It's a native thing.
Yeah.
Just catchy in it.
Yeah.
And then the Snotty Nose Res Kids.
Yeah.
I listened, and then now when I watched Reservation Dogs, I didn't even know that kid was a rapper.
Which one?
The one on the last, like the kid that was in a group home.
Oh yeah, Travis Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from Burien, out in Seattle. When Faith did Native American Day, he threw the first pitch. So we were down in the field, and he walked by, and he looked again, and she was like, "Why is Travis Thompson just looking at me like that?" And I was like, "I think he knows who you are." And he went to the first pitch, and he come off the field. And he was like, "You're a legend, bro. You're a legend." And she was like, just looking at him, "Thank you." He's like, "Can I get a picture?" And she was like, "Yeah." So then they took a picture. Mariners took a picture. And he's like, where are you guys sitting at? Where are you sitting at? She's like, "Oh, we're in the press box." And he was like, "A press box? Where's that at?" And she like started telling him, and he's like, "Well, we're behind the plate." And it's just crazy because like Chad Charlie, he's a writer for Press Box, and he was there's so many pictures that were taken at that game of just Native American athletes, like Imani Bush, he plays for UW for volleyball. She was there, she seen Faith, gave her a hug. And I'm just like, she's 13. So like we're walking around and people are like, "Faith," and then, "Oh hi," take a picture, and they'll talk for a bit. But that's something that like I don't think she grasped that. She's 13, so she's not into politics, she's not into the aspect of, am I famous or am I not? She's like, because somebody told her, you have more followers than a lot of adults. And
Yeah.
she was like, "That don't mean anything." She's She's like, I'm still a kid from the res. I still live in the same house. I still go to the
That's
same
dope.
school. She's like, only difference between me and you is
Now her teachers are a problem.
somebody asked her, they're like, would you consider yourself famous? And she's like, in my neighborhood, yeah. You know, in my neighborhood, a lot of people know me.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, you don't realize that you're known a lot farther than the reaches of what you can see. You know, it's like you didn't expect, you know, I don't know all the people that know her. So when we go to like different reservations, people kind of, you know, look at her like,
We actually had come over here before Marjan went to the G League. He actually just got drafted, and his parents had a meet and greet, and we came over and she met him before he went into the G League, before he went to the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she got to meet him too.
Nice.
But yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, all that was going on, the meet and greet. I was out here at work, and it's, man, and it sucks because like this is what it. Right now, this is what it looks like.
We ended up on the news.
Yeah,
And we didn't know we were on the news. And after we left here, because we brought her over so she could meet him, so that they could have their networking and stuff. And she got to interview him. And then we went from here straight to the Puyallup Fair. And she had people coming up to her, weren't you just on the news? And she was like, no, what are you talking about? They're like, you're fake
That's so
Ayuks,
true.
right? You were on the news. And she was like, yeah, I'm fake Ayuks, but I wasn't on the news. Yeah, you were. Oh my God. And she was like, not even knowing what they're talking about, right? We get home later that night, and I was telling him about it, so we Googled it, right? We were on the news.
Nice.
Like Cairo 5 or whatever over here. Like,
Chemo?
Yeah, chemo 4, I think. And that's something that, like, I told her, it was crazy because we were at the Puyallup Fair and we were walking around and there was, like, probably, like, 8 or 9 girls that are, like, probably, like, 13, 14. And one of them was like, are you fake? And she was like, yeah. Then she was waiting to get on the ride. And she's like, oh my God, I'll be back. And she, like, ran off and came back with, like, 12 girls. And she's like, can I get a picture? And they were like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then we went to the movies probably a week after, and there was like these kids that were like Snapchatting like Faith sitting there watching a movie, and she's like looking at me, and she's like, why are they putting me on video? I was like, you don't realize the impact you have with these kids. Like, they're not used to seeing. I was like, yes, you do YouTube. I said, but the YouTube isn't your thing. I said, it's the TikTok, it's the Instagram, it's, you know, like you post a business like Generational Trauma, you know, this Generational Trauma brand, you know, that was something that when we met Isaiah, he's the owner of Generational Trauma, he was so cool to be like, yo, I want you guys to, you know, he gave us hats. He was like, yo, here you guys go. He gave us hats. And Faith was like, I don't need all these hats. So we just started giving them away. Like, we were giving them to, you know, Tia Wood, Ashley Collingwood, like everybody who she was meeting. She was like, I want to put this brand up. I want to help this brand expand. And by the only way that she was able to do that was by gifting those items to those people, to where now this brand, Generational Trauma, is probably one of the biggest brands in the Pacific Northwest right now.
Nice.
Because they just released shoes, hoodies, you know, they got the Mariner hats with the eagle feather on them. And it's just right now, it's like kind of like with, that's what we want to do. We want to help Native American brands expand, excel, and be successful.
Yeah.
Because just what you said, if you fail here, you're not looking at it as a failure, it's a lesson, right? So you can take what you learned here, apply. That's something that a lot of people have. They don't have that ambition to say, well, I'm $30,000 in debt, but, you know, let me jump off the bridge real quick. Whereas like people that have the ambition you have, like, all right, 30K, grind out, and I take a loss. It was more investment, it was more lucrative than it was capital. So just gotta find another way to make another 30K, invest, and go back and forth. You know, that's something that with food's easy to make money off of. It's just hard to market it because everybody has their favorites, everybody has their what they want, and that's what I tell Faith. I'm like, you're the only you. You're the only Faith Values. You're the only 13-year-old media coordinator. You know, and that's where with like what you're doing when you do go to California and you do go to, you know, Nevada. What part of California? Like northern or?
Northern, mid, southern. There's a lot of people I want to link up with. You know what I mean? That are YouTubers and that can go. You know what I mean?
Southwest is like if you want to explode, Southwest is where you gotta go.
Texas?
No, like Arizona, New Mexico.
Really? There's so many different. Because my friend, she owns a business out there too, Blackie Biz, and she kills it. Her food looks awesome. Like she called, was like, I made $780 on just fry bread, but she makes her fry bread like Navajo style, and that's what she is. She's Navajo, to where ours is like smaller, fluffy, and it's not brittle. You know what I mean?
Really, yeah, I was talking to one of my buddies, my buddy out in Colorado. I was talking to him about what he does because he's a rapper, he's an engineer, and I was talking to him about music. And that's something we talk about all the time. Is getting him out to the Southwest, getting him out there to Arizona, New Mexico, getting him on that show circuit. Because like you get, and I always say this, I tell this to Faith, I'm like, a lot of people don't understand is you need your community to support you. And when I say your community, I mean your race. Native Americans do not support Native Americans. It's just some will, some won't, and family expect everything to be free. And that's something that's not.
I'm glad you see that.
Yeah. Not a bad thing, but that's just something that is out there. And when like I talk to people when it comes to their brands, and I'm like, if you guys want to be successful, you gotta stick your guns. You gotta just say, no, I can't just. I understand you really want this, but I need to make my ends. I need to make my money. I need to get that. And I said that's the number one thing is when you go to the Southwest and you get 6 Navajo Native Americans to just bump your music. Them 6, 22 other people a piece, and that's a whole new market.
Yeah.
And that's where I try to tell people when it comes to clothing. That's why you see a lot of these, you see a lot of these Native Americans go out there for like the Indian markets and the Santa Fe, whatever they do in Santa Fe, and then you have it's like now gatherings, right? Everybody wants to go to gatherings. They want to set up a booth. They want to do this, but they don't. Gatherings isn't offering vendors for clothing anymore, so you can't go there and set up like a normal cow because they already have their contract with people that are setting up for just all gathering of nation merch rather than
yeah.
Or what's the name of the brand? Sailor style, or skin style, or
History Maker.
All these brands. Whereas like I don't know, and I tell a lot of these people about these rappers. I'm like, I don't know a lot of them, but like Faith knows all of them. Like she can sit there and have full-on conversations with these rappers, and they're like, "Yo, thanks for." Because she had a show. She's got about 11,000 followers on her IG.
Nice.
She's got about 12, and she went from 400 just in like probably 3 or 4 days, 400 to like 11K. Where that for me, I knew it was gonna hit. It was just like kind of like when is it gonna hit? Because it's like so you have all these different like what she's doing now is we're doing the same thing that we do with everybody else. What Faith's doing is trying to market, help other people market their brands, their business, because there's not a lot of people that know how to do that marketing. It's like even the guy. You ever see Captain Jack's limousine out here? There's a Jack Thrasher. He's does a lot of he does work out here. He used to own a car dealership. He does a limousine service. And, we had him out at one of our NSO events and just had him just drive Spell and Spooky Season and had them out there in his limo and did a bunch of promo for him. And I told him, I was like, you know what? We're gonna pay you for your services. We're not here to do anything for free. We're not here to, you know, use you for whatever it is. And as you know, we believe that everybody needs to get paid. Everybody needs to eat, and there's not a lot of people out there that are like that.
Yeah.
You know, they want, oh well, I got this guy that makes fry bread, and he'll come in because I know this, and we'll just slap him like 300. You know,
Yeah.
where it's like you're losing that 300 could be, you know, 2-3 days, you know, a day work, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's where you be like, I skip that. You're not just taking 300 from me. You're taking 250 in gas. You know, another 400 or 500 alone just on food supplies to cook here, and then distribution of what I'm doing. That's time, effort, money, where it's around $1,000. I always tell people, if you're in negotiations, I always tell people to say this: give me 10% of each item that I sell. And most of the time it's no. I'm like, why? Because I know that's going to sell over 10,000 items. You know it's going to be over 10,000 items. Yep. Well, then pay me my worth. And give me the 5,000 that it's going to take to happen. So that's what I always tell people, is to establish a foundation of paying my worth